life as well. Environmental monitoring, like I mentioned about the school and the school field with those dangerous levels of chemicals that were present that could have caused harm to human life. And then obviously research and development, like Claire Hellio's amazing novel compound research. And then obviously forensic science, which links nicely to, here's a little case study that you might want to read more into, or maybe you want to find your own version to include in your written report for the assignment. So basically, guy dies. It was a suspicious death, so it prompted an investigation, and they called in the forensic scientist who did an analysis on his blood and found a lethal compound from plants present in the blood, and also really, really high levels of heavy metals in his blood. Now, the heavy metals gave them further evidence to suggest that he was an avid gardener, because obviously when you're in contact with the soils, it exposes you to heavy metals that are naturally occurring in some soils. So the forensic analysis linked the toxic substance to the neighbour, because actually on further search, the neighbour's garden contained the exact plant with the exact poisonous substance, and the neighbour was arrested. And the chemical analysis that identified that very specific plant and also linked the gardening, it turns out the gardening was a key aspect because the neighbours were having a dispute over their garden and land. And that's what led him to poisoning his neighbour. Quite extreme if you ask me, but each their own. But I thought this is a really interesting, there's loads more information on the internet about this. So I thought that'd be a really interesting case study and a really good example of how chemical analysis, really changed an outcome. The neighbour probably thought, they're never going to think of this. They're never going to pick this up. Because obviously some chemicals you need to test for. Actually, as chemical analysis is getting better and better and better, we can not only can we test for things that we're aware of, but we can test for things that we're not aware of. And